Well, shit. Is that true? Couldn't hear any of this? Well, that's embarrassing. At least it was only 12 minutes. It was the whole intro though. So, okay. Well, you can hear me now? Can you hear me now? You couldn't hear. What about now? Can you hear me now? I can see my audio coming through now, so it didn't pick my device. Man, what a bummer. What a bummer. Okay, well. So, we're gonna set this up, and you could do the free trial. I tried that. I tried to do their cloud one, but the way it works is you'll see when you come to their pricing page, Directus is completely free and open source. There are no paywalls or artificial limitations if you choose to self-host your projects. So you hit that, and then that will take you to the self-install page, which is a lot better. But on here, you can see the different plans they have. So Community Cloud is free, which is not available yet. This is what I signed up. I thought I was signing up for this, but then I hit try for free here, and you get set on a 14-day trial for the $99 a month plan, which is a lot. So I'm gonna be fine. I'm probably gonna use the Community Cloud once it's up. It's got some limitations, but I think it should be fine with me. The benefit is they will update the CMS for you whenever there's new updates. You know, they're the platform manufacturer. So that would be nice. I might switch to that someday, but I guess for now I'm gonna have to set up my own SQL database. Anyway, so let's click on Learn More, say Install Options, and then I can install it here. What node version am I using? 17.1. Hear the ambulance? Oh no, it's fire truck. Not my project. Let's call it Directus Demo. You can install the following packages. Yeah, sure, go ahead, man. Well, then hey, Rambo Sweets. I thought you were trolling me, but apparently you're helping. I apologize. What's up? Here comes another one. Is this part of the slow installer? Let's go over to this one and do the same thing. Should we do them side by side? See how quick they go. Oh no, wait, here we go. No, I'm not like that. Postgres. Oh, I do have to create a database. So let's go pSQL. Logged into Cheddar. Let's say create database Directus demo. Created. And then it's connect Directus demo. All right, it's there, but I don't need it anymore. We made it. We're good now. Database host is my local host. Keep the port. Database name is Directus demo. Database user is Cheddar. Password's empty. No, SSL's fine. First admin user, cheddevdev@gmail.com. Password is password. Project's been created. Okay. From dev, let's do Strappy. Strappy demo. Yes. Install. We'll do the quick start. I don't want to be too fancy. Error. Node is incompatible. Okay, so we need a 16. Keep trying. Nice. NVMUs version 16.13.0. Let me just remove that folder that we just made. Strappy demo. And we'll make it again, so we can get one clean start. Oops. Sorry, I have this window that's bugging me. Not so fast this time, are you, Strappy? Did this one already install the things? Yeah, change to direct, just demo, and then npx direct to start. Strappy's still going. Building fresh packages. I wondered if Directus installed the packages for me automatically, and I think it does because it just tells me to go here and run start immediately. There it goes. Oh, it just launches automatically, and then it tries to get me to off. First name is Ched, last name is Dur. Email is Ched dev. Password is password. Confirmation is password. I don't care about the news. At least one uppercase letter. Oh yeah, password 1 with an uppercase. They have some restrictions on Strappy. You can't be all willy-nilly with your passwords. Don't save it though. Okay, and then we're launched into the admin interface. Immediately, let's get, not Strappy, the Directus up. What port does Strappy run on? 1337, how cool is that? Public URL, server started on 1085, here we go. 8055, I kind of thought these would have similar. Apparently this is saved from when I ran my other local demo, so don't, that's why it's in there already. Login content, okay. One of the things I like about, oh shit, I guess we're launching both of them side by side. We're going into the demo now, we've launched them, okay? Task end, task start, task end, task start. Did it work? Did it work? Are we on Strappy API yet? Or Strappy data? So, one thing I liked about Directus out of the gate, I don't think it was dark mode. I think I had to change it. Or it might have automatically done it. I don't know. Automatic, yeah, theme, automatic based on system. What? How dope is that? Okay. So in a Strappy, can we change? That option, experience, interface language. Okay, they got 2 different languages out of the box, that's cool. Did they give me a language option in here? Admin options. Maybe in the settings. Project settings. Wow, There's a lot of options in here. So Directus has a lot more options, I think, and a lot more flexibility. Not flexibility, I mean, they're both flexible, you know? But let's look at, like, first of all, well, let's look through them a little bit, kind of compare them. So collection types, this is where we would create our collections, our data models that we wanted. Strappy sucks, they need dark mode, says Rambo. Yeah, I would love it. I mean, dark mode is not a given yet, I don't think. Do they have it in here? Users permissions. No. What I do know, Directus is completely white labelable, which is nice. They got the marketplace coming soon, though. That's cool. Okay, content. So they default you with the user content. One thing I learned when I was setting it up, I told this thing not to bug me. Sorry. One thing I was doing when I was setting it up, I was a little confused by the users because Strappy has two kinds of users. This collection user is users of, like, in our application that it's like our users table, right? So you build a new app and you build a users table for all your community users. That's what it is. They also have users for the Strappy dashboard, and that is limited. It's different. Those are like users who are going to use this Strappy dashboard to enter content. So if that's what you want to do, then those are, sorry, I got distracted by chat. Nebula says, use Dark Reader browser extension. I've always wanted to find one. Is that a good one? Dark Reader. Let's try it. It's got good ratings. How does it work on sites that are already dark? See, does it add crap like that? This is why I haven't used them in the past. Let me disable it. Thank you for the suggestion. Now I remember why I don't have them. Because if it does support a dark theme, I do want it to use that normal one. I don't want to, and then I don't want to set rules for every domain. You know, it's just a lot. Because right now I can't do it for local hosts because they would affect both the Strappy site and this site. So I'd have to set up, unless I could do ports. I don't know if they would pay attention to ports, but I would also have to set up, you know, maybe like domain names, local dev names for these, but I don't want to go down there right now. So, like I mentioned about how Directus had the cloud options, so does Strappy. Self-hosted is hosted on your own. That's like the open source plan. You get everything you want. There's no limits to crap like that. Cloud is they host it for you. And not available yet. So they don't have it yet. But I know they were planning it. Need it now? Because somewhere when I was setting it up, I was reading that I could only have 5 users in the admin. Maybe it was limited on the local settings. So here in the administration panel, you can have users. This is the administration panel, the whole Strappy app. So I have a limit of 5 users in here. I think it was 3 or 5. And I think there was a limit to something else, roles or... We'll see, we'll get there when we make it. Okay, so the users comes automatically. I was able to create users through the API and log in as them using this table. So that was nice. Directus, I don't think that had that. It doesn't have it by default. It does have users, you know, for the main panel. I haven't got to play with it. Haven't got to play with it yet, so it's been kind of Whatever. First, let's look at setting up fortunes. This is just like a basic REST API. I'm just gonna pull get from it. I'm not gonna actually edit the content through the app that I'm building for it. What I wanna use this for is, I'll just come in and add my own fortunes through the dashboard. So this is the case where I'd actually use the admin dashboard. And then I'm gonna get that and use it for a command or redemption in my chat. I've just been storing up a bunch of fortunes that I get, when I eat out. So this one's super basic. Fortunes, REST API. Okay, let's make it in Strappy. In Strappy, we go to the content type builder, create a new collection type. There's a few different ones. Collection types are like a database table. You have a table and you have a bunch of rows of them. Single types, I don't know what you would use this for yet, but I think you could use it for you have a home page. There's only one home page, and if you wanted to use a single type to do that, you could. I haven't really found a use for them yet. Components are like reusable fields. We'll use components for metadata later on, as well as maybe tasks. It's kind of like a reusable, repeatable field. So let's create a new collection. Display name. First, we're going to do fortunes. They say singular. I don't like to do singular, but whatever. Let's go with their things. Okay, that's just the base settings there. The singular and plural values that you can set them all to, the display name, what they're going to be called in my admin. Advanced settings. Do we need a draft publish on this one? I don't. I'm going to turn that off by default. And you can enable localization for this content type. It's not there by default. I would have to enable it to be able to show it, but I don't need it on this one either. So again, we're going to go with kind of a basic setup. All right, now we're going to pick our fields. So our text is going to be fortune, and no spaces allowed for the name because these are the property names. What the hell just happened? I clicked out, I guess, and I just lost my change. Okay, fortune. It's going to be short text. It's going to be a title. This is probably for database. You'll get a varchar versus like a text types. That's why they have differentiated. Oh, but it also enables the exact search versus not being enabled on the long text. So advanced settings, the default value, I don't need one. A regex pattern to test it, I don't need one. It is a required field. Let's say it could be unique. It has to be unique. I don't want duplicates. No maximum or minimum. I'm gonna assume that I'm putting in good data. And these just turn it off at the API level or this admin interface level. So if you do want those restrictions, I guess it's nice to have them there. Private field will not show up in the API response. So if you have you're storing some kind of hashed key or something that you don't want to return whenever you request it from the regular API, then go ahead and add that. And that's the settings. Finish. Okay, the fortune. Did I say there was a created app, but I'm pretty sure that gets handled under the scenes, behind the scenes. So let's see. I guess I have to save it. And a restart. Waiting for a restart. Does it? I think it was this one. Which one am I in here? Strappy demo. Oops. Change directory. Okay. Let's look at the code real quick, because I think this one generates code when I do that. Source API, yes. So it generates this fortune folder. Did it do it anywhere else? No. Extensions, no. Here we have the content types, and this is basically the schema that I just created. So they're storing all this configuration in files. Well, some of it, maybe not all of it, but some of it in files. And I don't really understand how these all work. Get out of here, restart. I didn't mess with them too much, but these were the initial settings we set, you know, singular names, the collection name, draft and publish, and then the attributes is fortune. So this defines the whole schema for us. They give us a controller, which creates a base one. This is for extending. I did do some extending into the one demo app that I set up, which was nice. So I like that they have like these hooks that you can kind of tie into things if you need to, if you want to expand some data. The services, you can, I think, was it services? No, there was a different place for hooks. But you can see it generated there. It would generate migrations as well if we were in a SQL database. All this other stuff, I don't think you should need to change. There's my jot secret. Default values, SQLite. That would hold our Postgres if we did a Postgres database. Okay. Let's go ahead and enter some fortunes. So this is our content builder. Once it's built, then we can go to the content manager and actually create stuff. Fortune. The one I got today is, it is better to have beans and bacon in peace, than cakes and ale in fear. I don't know, I've been debating if I should put the periods on the end or not. I'd say not. Okay, that's it. I mean, it's got the created by, last updated. Save. Created by Cheddar now, and last updated by Cheddar now. There's our one. I'm gonna close this down so we get a little more space here. We got the created at date, so it stores that for us automatically, the updated at. We can add some filters here if we want to do that. I don't have that much data, so I won't need it. Get out of here. Search. I wanted to see what it looked like if it was empty. This feels very bootstrappy, the admin interface. Mixed with also like some material, or maybe it's more material, I don't know. It's kind of a mix. You can turn off some fields and stuff if you wanted to, but Fortune is the one that I want. I don't care about the ID, and I don't care about the updated at. How do I choose the order? Enable search is on by default, filtering, bulk actions, default sort Fortune, sort ascending, default sort. Let's set it to created at descending. If I wanted to, I can, I think this is the detail view. Let me get some drink. This is my electrolyte drink. So colorful. I can rearrange these and delete them. I might end up doing that in the next set. Save that. This will modify all your settings. Okay. I'm cool with that. Okay, let's create one more. Let me pull up another Fortune for you, y'all. This is a good one. This is a good one. Delay is the deadliest form of denial. Just like so to the point, you know? Save that. It saves it. Let's go back. Okay, now we have 2. And I've lost all my view options. There was a way to save it. Maybe it was this. This is how you save it. I don't care about the ID. I want the fortune. I want the created at. I don't care about the updated at. Confirm. Yes. That's how you edit it. That's how you do it. All right. We got 2 in there. Let's go ahead and move on over to our Directus now. Ooh, let's change our task. Task, end, task, start. So first we need to create the content structure. In here you have all your links on your left-hand side. This is like my main user, the user that I'm signed into the admin panel with. You can see there. They didn't have a way to get to that directly in here, but what you do is you go there, and then, oh wait, if I do this, I think that's the same as going here, users, and then I can click on this and I can edit it there. This is if I wanted to turn myself off or on and set my roles too, but that's me. Here I click on that bottom thing and there's a lot more info in here. First name, last name, oh my gosh, no. So, but I can pick an avatar, upload file from device. Ooh, Dropbox is busted. Add that. It's got the PNG, my location, Denba. Title, the dude. That would be my job title, I think, or something like that. I don't need a description. I can add tags. Let's say like React, UI, front end, Headless CMS. Those are tags for my profile. That's interesting. I can choose my language. That's cool. The theme is automatic based on system. If you want to see their light mode, we'll switch it over for a second, but I'm not going to stay there. You can enable 2-factor auth in here too. That kind of blew my mind. They have that built in Directus. Email notifications means I can get email notifications. They have email things built into Directus, which I don't think was built in Strapi. Admin options. Wow, there's a lot of them already. I can create my own token or something, I guess. I don't even know what that does, but let's save this. This is the light view. Where's my image? Didn't load it. How do I... Is it because my Dropbox stopped working all of a sudden? Like, what's the deal? Make available offline. Are you done downloading it yet? It's more of a Dropbox issue, I think. Let me change this back to dark mode. Oh no, wait, automatic based on theme. So another thing they have in Directus is they keep, well, they have the layout options. That's not what I was looking at. That's not here, never mind. There's my image. So we want to define our content types. Those are users. They have the file library where you upload any kind of files. This one's bunk, let's delete that. Delete it. The file library. Insights dashboard I didn't play with, but you can set up a whole Insights dashboard, which sounds cool. Documentation is built in, which is kind of nice. I still found myself going out to the regular docs though. And then this is where I do most of the settings. So first is data model. I guess we can change the project after we've Oh, the project name? MegaAPI. I don't have a URL. I can change the color for it. What color should I do? Orange-ish. Chat-ish color, right? I can do a custom logo to replace this logo up here in the top left. Public foreground. And a background, and a public note, custom CSS. Modules, I guess I can turn modules on and off. Like if I didn't want insights. That's interesting. Add a link. Oh, if I wanted to add my own link in this main menu, maybe? Security, none, not recommended. Oh, so this was... Okay, cool. I can change that now that I've already set up my one user. 25 attempts? I mean, 5 is pretty good. Files and storage. I don't know what the transformations mean. Oh, image transformations. Cool. See, the image transformations were one thing I was interested in Directus, I think. And we could make folders for our file library mapping. So if you can, they use Mapbox, I guess, by default, and if you have like a map field. Cool. Save that. Settings updated. That's interesting. Show all activity. There it is. So Directus keeps an activity log of everything that happens. You can turn it on and off for individual content types, but I thought that was pretty amazing to have that out of the box. Quite amazing. Notifications, I don't have any. There's my cute little profile. Okay, so let's define our content. Well, let's look through the rest of these real quick because we didn't look through all the strappy stuff. I'm sorry. So content type builder, we did go through this page. The media library, we didn't do anything in here. Let's see, upload assets. Upload one asset to the library. I wonder if that stores it locally. There it is. Made 2 sizes of it. There's the big one, there's the small one. Cool. Plugins, this is what's kind of built into the core. I don't really know why they have this. Yeah, you can't disable them or check them anywhere. I think it's just to remind you of, hey, these are all the features in here. Content manager is all of our content. Data, I guess the content type builder is separate. Email, configure your application to send emails. So you can do that. Cool. I don't think it's as easy. I don't know if it does as many like on your behalf, but maybe. Roles and permissions, they both have roles and permissions. There might have been limitations here, we'll see. Internationalization, you had to enable it in different places if you wanted to. Marketplace is not there yet, but this will be like the Gatsby plugins or the plugins for Directus. They don't have a marketplace on here, but you can install plugins by searching for them. Oof, see how it messed up that time? Did they have? I don't know where they list them. We'll find them somewhere. And then the settings. So the settings is where the bulk of the stuff is in this application, in the Strappy. Overviews, just basic information. Oh, so the current plan is Community Edition, which does have those limitations that we saw. See, this is why those extensions don't work great. Self-hosted, free forever, up to 3 default roles. So that's what they're limiting you on the roles. Did they limit you? Where is that? Oh, here it is. So what you get, even if you self-host it, you get the community plan, which is free. There is some limitations, which is just the roles. If you want more than that, you got to upgrade to a paid plan at $9 per admin user per month. And an admin user is someone who uses the back end. So someone that we have registered in here through this user's admin panel section. Users of our app can be created in the content manager, and then they don't count as a user against here. If they don't need to use this admin panel to input data, they don't need an account for it. What we would do is we would build some kind of admin interface for our users of our app to be able to input data. So that's kind of our limitation, is we have to do it ourselves. DIY. If you want to do more, it's probably gonna have to go to the cloud plan. So, okay, so in the settings, we had our overview, Strappy information 4.0. I will say, when I was setting up my Strappy app, I had an issue, and I reached out to them in their Discord, and they responded super quick. This was like during the holidays, during Christmas time, maybe not on Christmas Day, but during Christmas time, when I don't know if it was them, but someone said that, they'd be less, I'd expect them to be less tentative, but they got back to me right away. And I also didn't like that they require these weird Node versions. I don't know why it doesn't work on Node 17. That's weird. API tokens, that's pretty cool. You can create your own API tokens so that you can hit this content yourself. Let's see, do you just get a name? Read only or full access? Well, that's cool, still. Makes it a little easier to pop in. You can add new locales, and this would, enable it, not enable it automatically, but any of the places you do enable it, they would be pulling from this list of your available locales. Media library, responsive friendly upload. It will make multiple sizes. So this is what made the multiple images when I uploaded my avatar. And then enabling this option will optimize the file size without compromising on quality. That's cool. Auto orientation, turn that, it's off by default. I don't know if you would need to turn that on for mobile uploads, but webhooks is cool. Get post change notifications. So when I do things, I can say whenever I create or update or delete an entry, ping this webhook, and then I can use that to trigger my rebuild, like on Next.js or whatever else, GitHub Actions or something, right? So that's a nice little handy thing to have in there. I think they might have that in Directus as well. So the admin panel, see, we're limited to 3 roles, and they've already created 3 for us here. It's author, editor, and super admin. If I try to add a new one, they're like, oh, you reached the limit. You're gonna have to upgrade to enterprise. So you're already at the limit when you install. You can't create any more roles here. That's a bummer. You can edit these though, if you want to change them. They're just kind of assuming what you want. Super admin, you do need to keep. This is what the default user is created with. And so you're gonna have to have at least one of those. And then you can edit these other options. So let's say like the editor, each time I make a new content type, editors can't manage users at all right now, but let's say that they can put in fortunes. They can create, read, update, delete, all of them. There's no single types. I can fine tune it to like which plugins can they actually, can they upload stuff? settings or email. There's a lot of settings in here that you can change. So the roles are pretty fine-tuned. I mean, that's pretty cool. But let's say that they can manage the fortune content. We'll save that and go back. I'm not going to create any other roles for now. I'm the super admin. I'm going to be the super admin for myself, but that's good to know how it works. If I wanted to create other users for the dashboard, I can do that here. I wonder if the user can have one or several roles. Let's say an editor. Ched edits, email, Ched dev. Editor. Copy and share this link. I don't know if it sent an email, if that worked. I don't think I set anything up for it, so I don't imagine it not to work. But let's copy that, and let's do a file, new incognito window. Welcome, Ched edits. Password is password one. Password one. They try to get even the users that you create through here, get their email for new things, or for what's it called? You know. So they only have content manager. They don't see the user type in here, but they can create things. So let's say, let me grab another fortune for you. Here's a good one. Commitment is what turns promise into reality. I'm pretty sure I've been told that in my life. Save that, go back. So if I wanted authors on this, I'd have to add an author field. But there we go. I can edit them and change them. I have access to the media library because I didn't turn it off. And then in my settings, I can just see the top level settings. If I want to change my profile, I can do the bottom left there. Ched edits. And that's it. Close that one out. Cool, man. This is finished. Cheddar. Now I got the two editors. Ooh, inactive. Is that true? There you go. Active. The email configuration. So I didn't set this up. I wonder if it sent an email. Let me see real quick. No, it didn't. But that's okay. I wouldn't expect it to. Wouldn't expect it to. Hey, Mr. Demon Wolf, how's it going? You could test it right from here. That's nice. Obviously, that don't work. Ooh, a hydrate? Thank you. This is my electrolyte mix. Today's glass is the Great White Shark Beer Company from Catalina Island. Beer with natural flavors added. This side, oh, maybe the beer's not from Catalina, but the glass says it's from the Lobster Trap. Good times and great food. What are you building, Demon Wolf? Is it a portfolio site, personal site? What is your new website? User permissions, can we make more roles? We can. Ooh, and these are very fine-tuned. I'm gonna have to zoom this out a little because it's just too big. So you can create a new role that can do things like just create fortunes or just search them maybe. This can be very fine-grained. I don't need any more. Default is authenticated to anyone who's authenticated in public. For anyone who's not unauthenticated. Would I need to make a new one? fortunes. Access to CRUD fortunes. And Mr. Demon Wolf, me. This is a penis pic. Nice. What are you gonna build it with? Oh, let me. You're streaming, right? Sorry, let me give you a shout out, Mr. Demon Wolf. Pizza Friday. Mmm. Cool. What are you gonna build it on? Did you look into tools yet? That's what we've been doing. Access to CRUD fortunes. I guess I'll select all, because that's what I said. Can I make another role? I can. I don't know why I need all these roles, but I guess I could make them. Because no user has it. I would give it to, they're an editor. Is there more? No. How do I add a user to the... I don't know. It's built with Divi. I don't know what that is. Ah, WordPress theme and visual page builder. So there's a lot of different page builders for WordPress, huh? Oh, there's another ambulance. Coming on by. So Gutenberg is the built-in one, but you still get these third-party ones because you like them better. They build the way you want the page, or they have their own themes built in, or why would you pick a different one besides like Gutenberg, right? Oh, providers, wow. So this is auth providers. Auth 0, Discord, email. Email's enabled by default. Built-in one still sucks. I thought they did a huge revamp to it, no? And Facebook, GitHub, Instagram, that's cool. That's a lot of options. Twitch. I can adjust the email templates, reset password and email. They didn't send me the ones, but you know, I gotta configure it. So I would be curious what those look like. Advanced settings. Ah, default role. One account per email address. That's why I faked my email address the second time. Enable signups. I could turn it off to not allow anyone to register. Reset password page. Oh, page that I want to link to. Oh, it's not on. I have to turn that on. Okay. So those were the settings in Strappy. Now let's finish continuing to set up our data model in, what's it called? Directus. Okay, so the new collection is going to be fortunes. Fortune. Do I name it as a single or plural? It is not a single object. I'm going to keep the default ID, but we can also generate a UID, unique ID, kind of like a GUID, or manually entered string. I usually would keep ID unless I wanted to display the ID for some reason. In this case, I'm not really going to display it. Optional fields. So this is like all of kind of the default functionality of this model, right? It's not going to have a status, but that's nice that I could have like a, I think it's draft or archive and plugin status, whatnot. sort if I wanted to actually display them on the page with the sort. I'm gonna do the created on, I'm gonna do the created by, and updated on and updated by. Those are pretty much gonna be on most things, I would imagine. All right, so this creates the collection, fortunes, and these are all the default fields that we just created, you know, out of the box. They start hidden on the page. You don't allow them to change them anywhere. You can see this is the primary key. It's a hidden field, meaning that, like I said, it doesn't show up on the page. You can use their create one, or they also have an advanced mode, which is really just like straight inputs, but create field's pretty good. And there's a lot of other settings related to this collection in general. So in fortunes, that's the collection. I can give it like a name. The icons are really cool. I like this. What did I use for it? Comment. Kind of look like a fortune cookie thing. And I can choose a color for it too. So I really like this personalization they give you in here. What color is a fortune cookie? Orange? All right, Demon Wolf, see you later, man. There we go. Close enough. It's a really colorful one. Display template? I don't know what that is. We can give them raw values as well. Thank you, Demon Wolf. Hopefully I'll catch you another time. Hide it within the app. I don't know why I'd want to do that, but it's there. Collection naming translations. So I can add translations on this level. For different languages, I can say this is the name to use for them. I don't need that for English. Archive field. I don't know how this works. I saw it in there. I guess if I added a field, it would be triggered by archive. I don't know. The default sort field. It should have the sort in there, did I not? Oh, I didn't add sorting on this one. Okay. The accountability, this is cool. The tracking and revisions of everything. So this is what we saw down here below, before. By default, it does revisions and activity. I usually change it to only track activity unless it's like a content page, because I don't care to keep up each revision and go back, you know. But if it's like a web page, we would definitely want that on so we can see edits between users. Or something if multiple users are editing it and you want to see who made what changes. And I don't know what the duplication does either. But that's just levels on our features on our model level. Let's add our other field. Keep editing. I guess I gotta save it first. There's our cute little fortunes icon. Okay, create field. Did I already make the fortune? Oh, I didn't make the fortune field. The key is fortune, the type is string. It's gonna be a null value by default, but I'm gonna require the value to be set. I could put a placeholder. I can do an icon again. Let's not do it yet. This is the simple mode. You'll see like it has, you pick your field type in here and it kind of does some settings for you. It does the type and some of the other settings, but if you want to get fully into it, this is like the full advanced mode, and you can start out in this mode if you want to as well. I usually do go through this because there's a lot of extra things that are hidden that you might want to change. I like to configure everything up front. Okay, so it's got the string, the length. By default, it's 255. This is where you can change it if you wanted to. I don't want to allow a null value. I was running into problems before when I did this. If you already have some items in there and you add a new field and you uncheck this, it won't let you save because you now have there's no null values allowed, and you now tried to, you know, create a new field where all those values will be null on all the prior ones. So be careful of that. It has to be unique. I do want them to be unique. Now for the field, required a value to be set. I can disable editing it at altogether, hide it on the detail page altogether, add some more notes. I don't need notes or translations. The interface, by default, they select one of these. You can actually close this off. Since I don't have any settings in there, I'll show you. The top two, I think what the stars mean are like, this is probably what you want. These are the most common options. But then they have all these other options, and they don't always work. Like, since this is a text one, I see. So say this is a text field in the database, but I only want you to choose one of two options. I could present them as radio buttons, and then whatever you select is the default, is the value. But I might make them different data types. I think these are just less associated data types, but more configured options if you want. This is something you only get in the advanced interface. You saw this was selected by default. That's the basic interface did that for us. So we're gonna let them pick a value in manually because it's gonna just be a text field. It can be whatever, placeholder. Again, you can set some icons. We can set the font of the field. This is like if you wanted to change it to monospace or serif or something. Let's try serif just so we can see the difference. Trim starting in. See, I always come in here and turn this on. This is nice to have. Masked, I could hide the real value if it was some kind of private thing that I didn't want to show, but they do have a hashed field if you really do want private values to store them privately as well. So that's something you can do as well. Cleared value allows you to save it as an empty string. This, if you set up a database before, you know that people will try to, save something as an empty string and when they really want to delete it or something. So usually you wouldn't want to do that, but there could be a case. Slugify, this will like make it a Slugify field. I thought when I first checked this that it would generate another one based off of this value and Slugify it for me, but it doesn't work like that. So we'll use this when we get to our pages later on. Display, this is also usually picked for you by default. It's saying it can be one of these two. We're just gonna show the raw value, but formatted value is pretty cool. You can do a lot of stuff. You can auto format it to use different styles, set a prefix, suffix, color, background, icon, border. You can even do conditional styles, which is really cool. I will actually add a conditional style to this in a second. Well, let's just do it now. So let's say, remember how I was entering ones and I was like, do I want to use a period on the end? I don't know. I set it up so I can say if it ends with a period, then set the color, no wait, set the icon to be warning. Well, icon to be warning, it says warning amber, but when I did it, I don't think it came up as a color, we'll see. So now if the value ends with the period, I'm gonna make it red. So I'm gonna know, hey, there's something up with that value because it gives me a little extra flexibility in the admin here. Because you could still save it like that, but it gives me content editing visual cues, which I like. And I can create conditions, which I didn't look into. I think this is a lot more like validation type things, but I'm not sure. So let's save that. We have our fortune. That's the only field that will show on there. Let's go enter it now. So now we want to go back to the main content. You can see there's the, oh look, MegaAPI. There's the fortunes. Create a new item, and fortune, what was the one today was, it is better to have, see there's my serif font, it looks a little fancier. It kind of indicates like, hey, this is the title. Better to have beans and bacon in peace than cakes and ale in fear. And I'll add a period on the end right now. Save that, and you see it gets the icon there. I don't like how short it is. It has the icon. Let me add another one. What was the other ones I added? Copy. And you'll notice they have these dashes on the front too. That's because I'm copy and pasting it from a list format in my notepad, and so it copies that with it. Let's keep it, we'll save it there. You'll see it comes fine here, but I wanted to have that same kind of error because I want the formatting to show as an error. So let me add another final one. And I'll make that one normal. Delay is the deadliest form of denial. I'll add some spaces on the end so we can see. Yep, they got deleted. See, overall, I like this interface more too. It doesn't feel as like scrunched or cluttered. It feels just basic. Maybe it's because it's dark mode. I don't know. This one is still showing with the dash, but I want to add that other option. So let's see. Go on my fortunes model, click on fortune again, and under display conditions, if it ends with, I'm gonna say if it starts with dash space, and do the warning icon again. And this time I'm gonna make them red. I can override the text value. I don't know why I would want to do that, but I could. Make that one red. Did I do this one too? Red. Okay. You see the little guy run when it saves things. There we go. And now those stand out. They're like, hey, there's something wrong with this content, man. I really like that. I think that's a very cool thing. Very cool feature. So I fix it. Now it's good to go. Fix it. Now it's good to go. And there's my fortunes. Let's see what the code looks like, huh? I mean, the fortunes are there. They look great. No, not that one. And let's go to Directus Demo. Check out their code. Top level's pretty bare. There's the uploads. My images. I made 3 different sizes. Wow, this is really bare. Did I do this right? Extensions. Endpoints, hooks, interfaces. So there's like nothing in here. No files that got generated. So far I've been controlling everything from the admin interface. Wonder how you get the hooks in there. So we got our first set of data in there. The list one was the one I was most confused with because of the relations. The media blog is a little simpler. Let's do the media blog real quick, because this is a basic one. This one I can get into a little deeper. So, okay, I might not handhold you guys as much for this round, but the media blog interface. Let's start back in our content builder. I would just call these pages, well, page, because they want them singular. Advanced settings. The draft publish system, I do want it on, and let's say we'll keep the we'll add localization for this in case you wanted to see how that works. Okay, a page has a title. I think I do these lowercase in here because this is the actual property name. And there's no default value. It does need to be unique. It is required. I'm not going to do maximum or minimum, and it's not private. And by default, it's going to enable localization for this field. I didn't play with the localization much, so I'm not sure like if it's easy to use or not, but we might try it. Okay, slug. Wait, add another field. Do they have one for slug? And you see they have less than like Directus, but I think it's just because Directus kind of handholds some stuff for you. They have these visual cues too, which I think is very helpful. I definitely like their interface a lot more. Strappy's a little more bare bones if you know what you're doing. or just want simple. It's just very text-based, I guess. So, hello, Mountain Trash Panda. Nice to see you. Looking very handsome today. We wanted to add a slug. Do they have a slug? They do not have a slug. Component and dynamic zone are pretty fancy. The dynamic zone is really fancy. We're not going to get into that, but it's like you say, here's an area where I'm going to put something, and you let them put like anything there. That might be powerful in like a page building experience, but I haven't fully got there yet. We might have to do a round 2 of like advanced things in here. So I think it would be another text, and we'll say name is slug. It's short text. Oh, interesting. That's because I zoomed out. Default, it's got to be unique. It's got to be required. Don't need localization for that field because it's going to be a URL value. Unique fields must be localized. Okay. Something I ran into with Strappy, which really confused me, was you add another field, and let's say we want to add a text. And the first time I did this, I came here and I looked at the advanced settings. I was like, all right, yeah, everything looks good. And I hit finish. I was like, what happened? Finish. Like, this thing doesn't work? And I didn't notice this went red. And it went red because I forgot to fill out a value here. I automatically went to advanced settings and just tried to do stuff. So I consider that buggy. It's not obvious. But that was the first thing I did when I set this up for the first time. Not recently, but further back. And so that really irked me. Okay, stats. That should be status. Where were you guys on that one, and gals? Status. And while we're here, let's add an emoji for not the wrong. That's so wrong. On a Mac, you can do Command Control space to pull up the emoji. Command Control space. I don't know why it's taking so long. Do you see it? Okay, I guess we're not gonna get. Oh, there it is. Look. Is there a list one? I didn't think so. Paper? Page with curl or a scroll? Page with curl. Lists, okay. Update. Status. Archive, draft, and published. I happen to know those are the defaults in Directus, so it will be easy to build there. I kind of like the defaults they set up there for it, though. Okay, content. Oh, we're already in there. Add another field. Status. So I think we would do an enumeration for that. See how they don't have one here? In here, since we'll check it when we create it, and it'll do it for it behind the scenes automatically. So we kind of get that out of the box in Directus. But we want an enumeration. The name is status. It's gonna be, first is draft, second is published, and third is archived. One line per value. Are you gonna capitalize those for me or no? I don't know. Default value is draft. It is a required field. I don't need localization. Doesn't need to be private. Generate a name for GraphQL. Ah, that's cool. I'm gonna case these because I really don't. Well, let's not, and let's see if they do it for us. I don't think they will, but okay. Status. Let's save it for now. It does the restart because remember it creates files for us. So now in our SRC, We have page, content types, etc. This is going to get updated in a second. Get all the extra things for localizations. I should probably what's it called for that? Enable localization, but I don't really care right now. Publish date, update date. They do normally store like created at and update under the hood, so I should be fine with update, but I do want to call this publish, and I think they say published at, so I'll call it that. We can do a date time. No, I probably just want a date. I don't want a time. Okay, advanced settings. Default value. I've noticed there's no way to default it to like the current day. I could set it in here, but then it's gonna be hard coded. There's no way to say like, use the current day, you know? Ah, shit. I tried to hit escape to get out of that thing. See, it's got this weird UX things in here that bother me. A date, name, published at, and it's just a date. Advanced settings. It is required, doesn't need to be unique, doesn't need localization. It's not private. See, there's that error. Cannot be used in your content as it might break other. Publish date. Okay. Can I name it? Oh shoot, yeah, I probably want to name, nope. Does not, oh yeah, so look at the error. The value does not match the regex. What regex? Their regex that they defined that I don't know about. Let's just say published. Finish. What other fields? The updated, I'm saying it have already cover. This is just kind of to see media, how it looks. We're gonna only do single for single media. I only want to allow images. That's cool, they give you options what to allow in here. It's not required, you don't need localization. Next one is description. And this will be a long, no, yeah, longer. Well, how long will it be? I'll say it's best for descriptions, biography. Exact search doesn't need to be enabled. Does it still fuzzy search it? That'd be nice. Description, advanced settings, no default. I'm not gonna require it. I should require it. Localization is needed. Content. This is gonna be our WYSIWYG content. Do they have one? They have a rich text. I'll call that content. It is required. There is localization enabled. Okay, so they call it rich text. I wonder how rich it is. Do they have a markdown? They don't. I think their rich text is markdown. That's the other thing that bothers me. I mean, honestly, you should have markdown supported out of the box. I feel, in this day and age. It's just not at it. Tags. Do they have a tags? No, I need to set up a relation for it. Or a component. Okay, I'll skip that for now. Metadata, we're gonna set up a component. So let me just save this. So we have most of our data in there. Let's see what it looks like so far. think I need an author tied to it as well. So title, the value is unique for the selected locale. Title is Strappy Demo, Slug, Strappy Demo. Watch, it's gonna say error there. It's a draft. It's published, what is the date today? The 7th? You can configure this layout to get it how you want, but by default, they just squish it in like this. So that's why I usually close that menu. See what I mean? How the UI is just not as polished as this one. Granted, this one's really basic, but you'll see in a second. Okay, a cover image. Let's add another asset. We'll browse the files. Did I have one in here? I think I need to make available offline. Let it download. And then I'll select it. Everything's fine. Finish. That is my cover. Description. A basic demo of setting up Strappy and creating content types. I don't know if they use the content builder. I'm not sure if they call it content types. Markdown mode. So their rich text editor is Markdown. Let's add an H. Don't think we need an H1 title because the page title would be the H1 title. We would have the description. Let's start with H2. What is Strappy? You can see when I picked it, it even just changed it to Markdown. They do have this full expand thing, which is kind of nice. What other options I got in here? Basic Markdown options. What is Strappy? Strappy is a headless CMS built on the web. Let's add an image. Let's add my avatar. Okay. No sizing options. It's just thrown in there, you know how we go. Can I make this a link? Yes, a link. The link is to https://strappy.io. Written by Chad. You wouldn't normally do this. Part of your template would be the author part, so collapse. It's got the preview mode. Back and forth. Here's the locales. If I create a new one, I have to create one in that settings, remember? And then I think if I switch to it, it would flip over this whole page, or I don't know. We'll have to check it out. Editing the draft. Save it. Oh, publish. So they already have a status built in, but the status didn't have an archived. So I'd probably make a field to say like, this is an archived thing. Okay. We'll automatically change it to a draft. Yes, I don't want it to be published yet. Let's try, configure the view. So see how like side by side, the status is okay. The entry field is title, that's fine. What is this? I don't remember. Edit to publish. So that's the date. Oh. So another thing was I think their relational fields showed up on the right. And I don't know if I could have it in here. Their whole editing thing is a lot more confusing UX-wise, I feel. Content is full. Let's say cover. Let's bring this down. There we go. Let's just make that change for now. Save it. Confirm. Why isn't it full? Configure the view. Edit the content type. What the frick? State draft. Configure the view. Like, how do I make this a full width? Do they just not show up as a full width? Editable field on. Description. So we got one in there. Let's add a localization real quick. Where was that? Internationalization. We'll add a new one. And let's say Spanish. I don't know Spanish, but let's say. It's not a default locale. We have the option for that. So now if I go to my content and I go to my page and I go here, fill in from another, yes, fill in. Sorry, I missed that. Let me, some of these fields I said didn't have different. Why is this default to 1.5.22? Whatever, let's fill in from English. So does it copy the cover image over to each one? Temo de strapi? I don't speak Spanish. I'm gonna keep, yeah, the slug was supposed to be the same. Not have different values, but it does, so I don't know. This attribute must be unique. That was something I ran into a lot with Strappy later on. Oops, yes. I'll show you that. English version looks good. Okay. Now, let's do that, do the page in, what is this called? Directus. Okay. A new collection, we'll call it a page. It is not a single object, I'll keep the regular auto incrementing. It has a status, it has a sort, which is nice. I'd have to add that manually in Strappy if I wanted to support the sort. Create it on, create it by, update it on, update it by. Take all of that. Okay, so here's our new one. We get our default values, our status. Default values draft. I don't want to allow null. It doesn't have to be unique. The field. I don't want to disable editing. I do want you to require it. Don't want to hide it. I don't need any well, no, I don't need any translations yet. This could be on the field, so this would be like Stadiosa draft, you know. They default with these for you. A drop down with, so this is just a pre-configured field that they add for you, but you have that option to pick it when you first run the content type, which I think is awesome. I wonder if I can make more of those myself and allow users to pick them. It's possible. So Publish draft. I want draft to be first, and then publish, and then archive. And these have text. What is that? Is that translatable text? So, is that you? Get down. You hear her? She wants. She might want food. Draft, published, and archived. I could add more if I wanted to, but I don't need to. Allow other values, like create new values, I think. Allow no selection. I don't want to allow no selection. It can have its own icon. Let's try adding an icon for world. Oh, really? Earth? Web? Okay, let's not do an icon then. I'm not familiar with their icons that well, but they have a big set, but so far it's been hard to search for them, the ones that I want. I'm looking for like the globe. Is it globe? Where'd that globe at? She's eating, do you hear her? Crunching. Where's the globe? They got a PHP logo. Piggy bank? See, and I'm like not even a quarter of the way through. So they got a lot of things in here. A lot of icons, that's cool. Display, format each label. Show as dot. Oh, that is the visual state of it. And they got these cool little, you can do like raw values to see like what value it's setting it as under the hood if you wanted to change it for some reason. Or if you messed up a value and clear it, reset it to default, that's cool. The choices, I wonder how this is gonna come out. Let's just keep the defaults for now. Conditions, I don't need any conditional. I think it changes the color of it automatically. So when the display is a dot, it shows it as different colors. Okay, so there's a status. Sort, I don't show on the page. I'll feed Zoe in a second. Why don't you redeem a Zoe thing? You got so many points. Sort, I don't want to show. User created, I do want to show that. Click it, click it. Oh. Show field on detail. The date created, no. I don't want to show that. Oh, a trash panda Zoe appearance. Okay. I'll show her and then we'll feed her, okay? Hydrate too. Mountain Trash Panda, you missed it. I did the first 20 minutes of the stream without any volume. No mic. So? Huh? You want some food? Dry food? Say something if you want dry food. No one was here to tell me, Mountain Trash Panda. Then finally somebody showed up and they told me. Okay, she's going back down. She's gonna get some food. She's real happy. See if you can hear her marks. Okay. Bye, Zoe. You the best. You the best, Zoe. Okay. So we need to add more fields. Title, slug, status we already have. We'll skip that one. Create field. This is just a basic input. Title, require value to be set. I do like these icons in here. You can do a little icon. I do them on the left usually. We could save it and be good to go. Save it, move it up here because I want it to be near the top. But this is also how if you click on it, you end up getting the advanced mode later on. So I usually go through the advanced mode to make sure I want everything set the way, you know. The value has to be unique, allow null, require value to be set, it's not hidden, there's no field name translation. So that's like when I render title on the page, how do you want me to render it to them? Yeah. Interface, input, it already has the icon on the left. The font family, serif. Just give it that more like title feel. Trim the start and end. I don't need to mask it. Don't allow empty values and don't slug it. I'll slug the next one. So displays when it's in the table. How do I want to display it? As a raw value or a formatted value? I'll do formatted. I don't need anything fancy, but if I wanted to add those conditionals, you know. I wonder what show border looks like. Let's try it. And there's no conditions. What are the conditions? I really gotta look into those. Because it looks fancy. Okay. Title, slug. So let's say it's start in advanced this time. Ooh, presentations. Field group? I never even messed with those. I don't know what a field group is. Presentation and aliases. Yeah, I've always started this way, and then I go into advanced mode before I save it. So I want to do a slug, so I'll do a normal input. Call it slug, required to be set. I like to use the little link icon for it, and then continue in advanced mode. Turn off the null value. Does have to be unique. It's required to be set. Disable editing. Interesting. Okay. One thing I like about theirs too is they auto format it for you when you slugify it, right? So I'm gonna try to start in the end. I'll keep it sans serif. No saving, but I'm gonna slugify it this time, and we'll see how that's different. Display it as raw value or a formatted value. I don't think I need to do anything to format, so I could uncheck it and then it defaults to the raw value. Let's just go with the raw value for now, and no conditions. Next one is publish date. So I could use the created date as the published date, but I do like to have a separate field just because, in case you want to publish it in the future. Date time. Oh, this should be lowercase. Publish. Published at. Oh, you can even do a timestamp. Interesting. I'll just do a date. Require value. Let's not require it. Create in advanced mode. It's date. There is no length. On create. Ah, see? Save the current date time. On update, do nothing. That was not an option in Strappy. I can allow a null, say it doesn't have a published date, doesn't have to be unique. Field. Not required, not disabled, not hidden. No translations. Date time, enter dates and times. Display it as, I probably don't want to display the raw value. I'll start it as this. Ooh, format, I like that. Relative time, 2. See, they give you all these options for displaying as well as, I mean, I feel like they give you tons of options on Directus fields, which I think is great. It's got like all the options I've wanted. Maybe they'll add more later on, who knows. And conditions. Okay, save that. The slug I do want to be right next to the title, and then the published at after the status. Updated is already attached cover image. Let's see our image field in here. Selection, we got maps, repeater. Repeater was a little interesting. It doesn't work the same. We'll get to that in the next one. But color picker, drop down. I haven't played with all these yet. Icon, checkboxes. What are we building? I'm getting like sidetracked now. What was the field? Cover image. Relational image. The relations were a little confusing at first too, but interesting. Divider, button links, and notice. Huh. Man, I gotta play with all these. Hash field, image, cover. It doesn't need to be set. I don't want to crop it because I don't, how do I know what fit to what? And I'll keep the root. Let's create an advanced mode, see if we got anything else. It can be nullable. It doesn't have to be unique. Maybe it would be, but I'll leave it off for now. Nothing there. I mean, I would put like, best resolution is 1280 by 460. I don't know, I'm making that up. I think Twitched is 1200 by 480. I don't know, let's see how that looks. No need to crop. Those were basically the settings that we set, you know, in the simple overlay. All right, Mountain Trash Panda, sweet dreams. Enjoy the British man. But how do we want to display it in the table? A raw value? I don't know about that. A tiny image preview? Maybe not. Let's leave it alone and see what it picks. Relative values? Okay, so then we'll get our image, our cover image, description. This is going to be a text area because it's allowed to be longer. I don't remember if we made it required or not. Let's trim it. Keep it sans serif. Don't allow empty string. Do we want to allow no values? Yeah. Interface. Enter multi-line plain text placeholder. Trim. I don't think I want any special formatting. Let's just do raw. And no conditions. Okay, there's the description. And the next one was the content. So let's do their WYSIWYG for the content. It's not required. You can choose the toolbar items, and there is a lot of toolbar items. Personally, I would add these. Maybe some colors if you want. Strike through. Add edit media, cut, copy, paste. You can do that anyway. Change fonts. I probably wouldn't want you to change fonts. Indent, outdent's kind of nice. Undo, redo. But I think those regular keyboard actions would work fine. Table. View invisible elements. I don't really know what that means. Edit the source code, full screen mode, and directionality, right to left, left to right. Image token. What static token to append to image sources? I don't know about that. Okay, the content's a text value. It allows nulls. This is all good. Interface is the WYSIWYG. This is where I can change the options later on, the toolbar options. Custom formats. So this seems cool. I don't know what it does, but I could do something there. Options override. I don't know what they use for their WYSIWYG editor. Not quite sure. Let's take the raw value and no conditions. Okay, so that's content. Let's see markdown. They have a markdown field directly. See how they look the same, but then they just pre-select different values for you. Markdown. I would want MDX, so there would be some additional stuff I'd want to do to convert it probably. And I think I can tie into hooks and stuff to do that. I'd have to look into that some more. Not required. This has a much simpler set of things to add, you know? So they just check them all by default. None of that other stuff. No, none of that. Markdown, field. Don't need any of these settings. Interface is what we just set. Editor font and the preview font, so I can change them, that's cool. These are always just the 3 fonts here. I don't know if you can add more, but that usually covers general, you know. Custom blocks. Name, prefix, suffix, block, and inline. I don't know how those work, but maybe you set a few fields and you like fill out content in those areas. I don't know. New field. I would show, does it have a markdown format? Let's try that. No conditions. Tags and metadata. We didn't do tags on the other one or the metadata. Let's save those for next. Okay, so this is all good to go. Is there anything else on the page that we want to change? I do want to change the icon to the newspaper. And the color, let's make it kind of grayish, lightish. I don't know what display template does. Doesn't need to be hidden, doesn't need that, don't need translations. Enable the app archive filter. I think I know what this does. Once the value is archived, it hides it from the list. And this enables it by default. If I uncheck it, it allows me to view all items. So I'll show you that in a second. Let's have it off by default. Default sort field is sort. I do want to track activity and revisions because of the content in this one. That's it. Save it. And there's our page. Now let's go back here and create our first page. You see how we kind of get these like custom content or these content types, but we get to customize them with little icons and colors. It seems so cheesy, but honestly, I think it helps a ton. And these little icons here, they're visual cues for me. I love them. Okay, title, Directus Demo. I need to add a dictionary because it's been misspelling that quite a lot. See how I gave it the sans serif? Slug, so I'm doing capital D, Directus, space, demo. See how it auto formats it for us? Strappy didn't do that. It allowed us to even have a space in our slug. So will that work? I don't know. It seems buggy to me. Default status is draft. The little stars mean it's required. And the little icon hover next, or the little bubble next to it, circle, says it's been edited too. So tons of visual cues in here that I just love. We'll default as draft. Published at, oh, look at that. Set to now. Oh my gosh. How hard was that? User created, I can't edit this in here, but it does show up after. Okay, cover. Choose from library. I don't have anything in the library, so let's click on this. And I want the everything's fine. There it is. Ooh. Says the size, file type, and everything. Oh man, this is so much more beautiful. The description was plain text, so let's say demoing the Directus admin interface. It'd be nice and short there. Here's our content. This is our WYSIWYG editor, they call it. So the source is just blank right now, of course. Let's see what it does. So let's, last one we started with an H2 and we said, what is Directus? Look at that, it's pretty nice. Directus.io is a headless CMS built on web. I didn't really care what they were built on. I mean, I think they both use React. I don't know. Because I'll be building my clients separately, and that will allow me to just hit their API and use whatever front end I want. I'm not limited to it. If you wanted to extend their admin API or their admin interface, then you would need to build it in their selected framework if that's important to you. But honestly, I don't think you should need to do that. Maybe you could make some custom field types if you really wanted to, but if you're not gonna make custom field types, I don't think you should ever need to edit their front end type code like with React, whatever they built it with. Oops, and we added an image. I want to choose from the library. I want to put in my avatar. Assets, alter. Look at that crop. That's a good crop. Avatar. I'll just call it avatar. I can set a width and height. Let's say it down to like 50 by 50. Just to see what it does. Oh, it's busted. It probably just doesn't load it correctly there. Interesting. Access token? So they have this fancy image editing platform. I think it broke because of that. Let's see. But look at this, it's just doing HTML, even though they called it a WYSIWYG. And that's legit HTML right there. It's pretty simple. Maybe it didn't. Okay. I don't know what else we had. Let's look at their markdown. Full screen editor looks nice and clean. How do I get out of it? Escape doesn't work. Okay, markdown. Heading 2. What is Directus? Directus. I forgot to add the links. Is a headless CMS built on web. Choose from my library. Oh, that's interesting. It popped under or something. Seems like a bug. We may have found a bug, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, see it popped under? Interesting. Found a bug. A table. Anyway, let's try uploading a different one just to see what it looks like. We'll open the same image. There it goes. Didn't really put it in the right place. Maybe that was my fault. So this would be the alt text avatar. Here's the preview. Let's make this a link. I wanted to see what those were. Directus.io. Let's make this a link. Enter a URL, display text. I want to keep what I already wrote in there. Let's see if it does it. Open link in a new tab. Save it. Oh, I messed it up. I did the undo, but it kind of messed up there. Headless CMS. There we go. I would probably do Markdown, but I am impressed with their WYSIWYG. I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. And I love that it just breaks it down to source code, so I could paste HTML in there if I wanted to. It still messed up my image though, I think. I don't think that's right. That could be a bug. Or it could be my permission settings. I'm not totally sure. Okay, let's save it. There it is. The status is this color because it's a draft. Title, Directus Demo. So that's the border that we saw. I wouldn't really set it to that. Let's get rid of that. Is there any other fields that we want in here? So you can see information. We can change the layout to different styles here. You can calendar, cards, map. That's cool. Cozy, compact, comfortable. I can change the titles. Let's see what some of them look like when we add them in there. What is Directus? Cover image, description. I would change the orders of these, so I want the title first, and then the slug, status, I'll take out the cover. I do want the description. I'll take out the content and the markdown, keeping the description. Kind of scrolls off. Which I don't like. That's decent. Okay, let me change the... Does that save it though? Or does it lose it like the other, like Strappy? You can export the data at any time, that's cool. JSON, XML, current filters and settings. And the activity log, do I have to save this anywhere? No. There's the filters and searching. There's this bookmark up here, which I didn't know what it did at first, but what it does is it bookmarks these filters and settings, I think. And then I can name it whatever I want, and then it shows under there. So let's say like, I'll just call it pages list. Well, let's say like Ched's list. And that's like kind of a view, you know? So I can click on there to see how I wanted it. If I click on here, maybe it's different, I don't know. But the different, I guess that's for different users, or maybe if you wanted to apply filters to like say drafts and stuff, that might make more sense. Let's do that. Let's do a filter, add a filter where status is draft. And then we'll save this as drafts. That makes more sense. Ched's list, update bookmark, reset bookmark. How do I delete the bookmark? Oh yeah, it was a right click. That took me a little while to figure that out. Delete Ched's. Okay, now you have drafts. So let's add a published one. Well, let's change this to published. Draft, published. Now you can see my user. I don't have the option to change this, so that's why I think I might need to add an author field to be able to set it, the user. Oh, there's my image now. Maybe it just didn't work because it was fresh, I don't know. I picked the wrong one there. That was supposed to be my avatar. But let's save this. And then see here, oh, because I had those filters. Let's clear them. Okay, so now I cleared all the filters. It says there's one item, it's green because it's published. If I go to drafts, there's nothing in there. So it's like filterable views. Bookmarks are like filterable views, or however you would want to call those. So that's cool. Another thing is the revisions in here. So look, now on the right, once we're on the page, we can see here's all the different revisions. Who made them? What happens if I click on it? Oh, wow, look at that. I can roll back to it, preview it. Very cool. I think that's amazing. You can comment on an item. This is just like a comment within the admin panel, you know, if I was like, please hold this, you know, I'm waiting for blah, blah, blah. If you have multiple people using it, shares, I don't know what a share is. Is it like a previewing? I don't know. And then the activity log, you can see all the activity here, which is direct as files, fields, even the field changes and stuff. Wow. Wow. Oh, this is all my activity feed. Well, all activity. There's mine. Let me change the title thing real quick. So if I came back and I go to the title and I display, I don't want to show the border. Let's say I do want to put the nice little title icon next to it. I like it. I'll save that. So that is for the view in here. There you go. You see the title, Directus. And I would probably put one next to the slug too. I like to have it there. I like those because I can quickly associate them with formatted value, link, no conditionals. Oops. There we go. I can change the color of the published as well. Post 2, the other one I published, right? So I'll keep this one as a draft. I'll say published at like the 20th. Can't select that. Click to browse. Let's download this. Make available offline. Are you gonna download it? Sheldon Cooper. That's a big image. There's my little hint text. Description. Just being lazy now. I don't care about those. Okay, so in the page view, we got all of them. Go to drafts. Okay, these are just the drafts. I can create ones that are just assigned to me, whatever. Cool. So now we've got parity in the media blog, except for like, you know, the tags and the metadata, the relations. So let's, I don't think we're gonna get to the third one, the lists, because these were harder, but maybe. Let's look at tags and metadata, or should we just go to lists? Let's take a hydrate and think about it. Yeah, you know what? I'll leave tags for you and metadata. Maybe we'll cover it in another video in the next phase of like more advanced things. But I would really like to do this because it's going to show off the relations and it's going to show off mainly just the relations. And one other feature, some features in Directus I'd like you to see. So, okay, let's start with the lists. Go into make our content. I should have broken down the tasks for this stream very differently than what I did, because this is not really what we did. Create a new type. We'll call it lists. Well, list, because they want singular. There is no draft system on this one. I'm gonna leave off the localization so we can kind of see what it looks like without it. A list has a title to it. It's short text. It needs to be unique. It's required. Oops, not a private field. Okay, finish that. It also has tasks. We haven't created tasks yet, so let's just save this for now and go back and do that. I think in here I might have made it as a component, or did I make it as another collection type? Let's try both. So create a new one, I'll call him task. There's no draft system on it. No content. Okay. A task has a title that's short text. It is required. I'm not going to mark unique because I ran into this issue where with the tasks, I wanted it to be unique within the list, but it's unique within all of the tasks that you created across any list. So if I add dishes to one list and then I try to add it to another list, it will fail and say it's not unique. So that forces me to do validation on my own. I can tie into that with like a hook thing in here, or I could just handle it front end. Ideally, I'd want some protection on my API too. That's where this gets a lot more complicated. So we'll do the basic setup here for the lists, and then we'll go ahead and do the more advanced stuff later. Push it off to the round 2. Okay, so we'll save that. We have a title. Created at will be done automatically. A level 1 to 5. Add another field. This is going to be basically an enumeration. Well, it'll be a number. I wonder if I can limit it in here. Let's try. Let's see. Level. Yeah, I can just set a default value. On the other one, I can do like steps and stuff. I can choose like how much to increment it, which is really nice. So that makes me think on here I might not. I might do it as a different kind of field on here. So let's say an enumeration. It's going to be level. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is kind of like a rating, equal to a rating settings, right? I would have to build a custom interface in here for this. Default value is 3. I don't care about an override. It is a required field. Confusing error message. Value does not match regex. Oh, wow. They probably want me to make them strings. Okay. I don't know because it doesn't tell me, right? validation error. Default is 3, and it's got an enum there of all the values. Regex. I don't really know what the problem is. I'm not gonna try to debug it for him though, I'll tell you that. All right, I guess just to get it working, we'll do a number and we'll say level, the number format is solid, full number. Default value is gonna be 3, do you see that non? It's required, it doesn't need to be unique. Minimum value, there we go. Minimum is a 1 and a maximum is a 5. Finish. That's a little closer and completed. So like a checkbox or whatever. They could just call it a Boolean. Completed. Default value is false. It's a required field. Is that it? Yep. Okay, we'll save that. So now we have a task. Let's see on our list, can we add another field? I think we want relation. List. Dot tasks has one, no, it has many. Belongs to many. Task. Title. I think that's it. What is this one? Let's try it. Okay. Says it works. Let's save it. And let's try it out. So a list. I would create a new list. Where's my tasks? Oh, see, it's on the right. The list would be like shopping. This is my shopping list. Tasks, there are no options. Configure the view. All your modifications will be lost. Okay. Like I can't bring these over here. They're forced to be in the right, which is just weird to me. That's why I did them as a component. Because also I would have to create the tasks and then attach them. Let me see if I mess with this content list. What if I change this to, what is that? List has many tasks. Oh, belongs to many tasks? Yeah, let's say list has many tasks. There's no other settings. There's no way for me to create a new one, I think, in the interface. Let's try shopping, and then could I add a new one like carrots? Oops, no, it just saved carrots. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let me delete this just to be safe, because I'm going to change some fields again. Okay, let's go back to the list. The relation with tasks just didn't work. We would have to create tasks manually and then attach them to the list, which seems a little crazy. So I think this is where components come in. Let's say tasks, enter a category. Tasks. An icon. Is there like a to-do list? Search. List. And then, is there any, no advanced settings? Okay. So I created a task component, and then I'll make the fields like I did before. Title, short text. It's unique, not unique, but it is required. Finish. And it has a number for the, did I do a number? I think so. Integer, the default value was not a number, it's 3. It's required, doesn't need to be, maximum is 5, minimum is 1, finish. And the final one is Boolean, which is completed, advanced settings, false default value, and is required. Okay, so I'll save this, and then I'll go back to the list, and I'm gonna delete that relation because we don't need that. And what you do is you come down here and you say component. You could do dynamic zone. So a dynamic zone would be like, you can put any kind of field in it. With component, I'm gonna say, okay, it's gonna use an existing component. Yeah, I usually make the component separately. And then I go select the component. I'll call it tasks. The component is tasks. It's repeatable because it's an array of items. You could do a single thing. I guess if it was, like I would probably do metadata as a component as well. Because I would think of it as page metadata, but I could attach it to any kind of resource or collection type that I wanted to if it was going to be served up as a page, right? But repeatable components, and then I'm not going to make it required. That's interesting. A minimum value. Is it a minimum of 1 or something? Or like, maybe. Finish. Okay. So now I can see it here. Save it. Gives it a little more of a view too. Now if I go to the list and I try to create a new one and I say title is shopping and see how it shows up directly in the middle? It's perfect. Carrots. Level 3. Completed is off. Add an entry. Chicken. Level 3. Completed. So the level's more, I was thinking, as a generic thing to rank it like more or less. You can rank it in any way you want. I'm thinking of it like this is more work or less work. So I probably wouldn't have it in my shopping list. So let's just save that for now. And then this is a pretty good view, I think, for it in here, using it as a component instead of another collection type. I wonder what that data looks like though. I think the data looked weird when I hit it in the API, but we're gonna save that for another episode. Okay, let's go create our items in here. I'm gonna create a new data model, and what's nice in here is I can create folders. So I'm gonna create a new folder and say lists app. It's gonna be a folder. No note, no translations, we'll save that. You'll see it kind of creates that app there, shows it as a folder, and now I create a new one. I'll call it list. Do I do these as capitals? I don't remember. Treat as a single object? No, I'll keep the ID. Doesn't need a status. It does need a sort. I'm curious who created it and dates and stuff. So I'll take those. And inside a list are tasks. But first I'd need to create the task thing. So let's just save this for now. Well, it's already saved. Cool. You'll see it created our list up here. I didn't choose an icon. That's a default icon. I can drag this into here. It's a little wonky, but there you go. So now it's nested in the list, in the the lists. And let me make task or tasks. So I was on the hunt. Tasks, they do have a status, whether they're completed or not. I could make it as another field, but let's kind of show how we could use this and modify this to meet that need. There is a sort, date created, who created it. I do want to keep the updated info as well for sorting purposes later on. So you can sort by creation or updated or manual sort. So we'll take all of them. Okay, tasks. Create a field. It's going to have a title. I like to use my title icon. And let's look at the advanced mode. No null values allowed. Require value to be set. No translations. Manually enter. Trim the start and end. Let's look at its serif style. No need to mask it, no need to clear it, no need to slugify it. The raw value, so this is, since we can have multiple tasks in here, wait. This is the title field, right? So I just want raw, sorry. Not there yet. Okay, so the title, let's put that before the status. And another field is, so this one I used the slider down here below, which I liked. Did they have a rating thing? I don't think so. But they do allow you to display it as a rating in the UI. So look, I do a slider, I'll call it the level. It's an integer already, which is nice. Require the value to be set. The default value is going to be 3. Minimum is going to be 1. Maximum is going to be 5. Step interval. This is what was missing in Strappy, but this is a UI feature. You know, when you increase the number or decrease the number, you can do it by whole numbers or like 0.1 or something like that. Always show the value. Let's do the full mode just in case there's anything we missed. Do not allow null values. Value doesn't have to be unique. Field's good. Interface. We already filled all that out. I'm going to keep it. Display. So here's a cool thing. I can display it as a rating, which I think is cool because that's how I want it. It displays in the table as a rating. Show stars in a simple format. That means it'll show a star with the number of stars next to it. Like, so it'll be star 3, star 5, versus the normal format without that checked is all of the stars. I do kind of like the simple format. But maybe not actually. Zoe's snacking again here. Okay, so the level. I want the status last. So when you fill out the title, fill out the level, and then fill out the status. But we do want to change the status. Default value is draft. I want it to be... See, I might not want the status here because I just want it to be a check, completed or not. So let's delete that field. Even though I selected it in the intro, I could delete it still. Oh, I can choose the sides of it too. So this is like the layout of the form, which I haven't messed with yet. But let's delete the field, we don't need it. And then let's create a Boolean toggle. So that will be completed. It's a Boolean default value. I want it to be unchecked. I can choose an icon. I'm not sure why I would choose, like, I guess what I would choose to be different, but that's kind of cool. I choose the color, on and off, the label, which will be completed. Full advanced mode. No null values. Fields. weight 1 to 5. A little note for them. Toggle. So let me show you this is what was default selected. If I click it, I can see other options, but there are no other options for this. So I'll just keep that. Completed, that was what I wrote, right? So, stop that. She tears up my couches. Display, this isn't a table. Boolean on and off states or the raw value. I definitely want the Boolean. The label on, I could give it different names, but it gives it different icons for me, which is nice. A check, I think it does a green, and then this does as not. Okay. So that should be it. Task. Is there a task icon? Sure. The archive. I don't want to do the archive here. I didn't get to show you that in the other one, but when this is checked, it will hide it from the UI. And I don't want to do it in this one because I'm going to be toggling them off and on all the time. Keep the sort. I don't care about revisions. I'm just going to do on track activity. So who made what changes. Don't know what duplication means. Save it. Okay, and then now I can put tasks in here as well. And now, when we go here, you'll see we have lists app. And then our data is like organized underneath it. Because I could have multiple lists, I could have multiple tasks, you know, if I'm running multiple apps on here. I find that to be very helpful. Tasks. Let's see how, did I already add? No, I didn't add tasks to the list yet. Because we want to go back here and now we want to add our tasks. And you could do like a repeater, but the way they do it is, it stores it as JSON, and it's just in this entry. So I'm not sure how you would search it. Like if I wanted to get all tasks across all lists, I would have to query all the lists and then pull out all the tasks. Setting up the data where we have tasks as a separate collection helps me do more of a relational kind of setting for it. So I'm not going to use a repeater in here. It's a little bit different meaning than it was in the content, or not the Strappy side. I'm going to do these relational fields. And there's a few different ones. Builder M2A, I think that was the one I used to get it working, but we'll try it, we'll see. Many to many, one to many. You'll notice they don't have a one-to-one, and I read into the docs, and it was because they said, well, a one-to-one is really a many-to-many with only one thing. So they expect you to use one of these other ones. But I tried playing with a few different ones and messed some stuff up. So let's try to go with the right route. I think it is one-to-many. One list, too many. Is that right? Related collection is list. They don't show the fields here in the order. Foreign key, and it wouldn't let me select the foreign key as ID, which I thought was weird. I have to type it in. Let's call it, what is this? Key tasks. Yeah. Display templates. So you can create items, new items directly from there, or you can select items. I can turn these on and off. If I only want to allow you to select items, I could do that. I'm just going to do create because anytime you create a new one, related collection is task. Oh, good point. Good point. This is when we pay you the big bucks. See, there's all the other. It won't let me select ID in there. I had to type it in, and I don't know why. But ID would be the relation, right? Oh, maybe I'd want to show title. Let's try it. I think that's right, because I think I messed it up before. Okay, display template, I don't know what that does, but I want to create a new one each time. In my interface, I would probably do, I'll show you what it looks like. Enable select buttons, no filter or whatever. Let's start there. Type alias, relationship, lists to tasks, okay. Sort field, sort on title by, well, let's sort on sort by default. And they give you kind of the cascade options. No, so it does that list ID creation underneath for me, I think. We'll see. I didn't have to do it when I ran it before myself. But when I deselect a task, I want to delete it. If it's no longer associated with this, just delete it. And same thing, what was the question? On delete of list, delete the list item. Cascade, want those cascades. So for the fields, nothing. One to many, enable create, enable select, and display. The raw value is not really helpful. The related values are what I want. You can configure the display template after creating this field. Save it. Cannot be implemented. But then it still does it. So these were the errors that I got when I ran it. It still saves it. Still says there's one to many. Let's try it out. That's weird. Did you see that? Did I create a list already? Oh, shit's busted. Let me refresh. Yeah, so it just didn't work. Let's go back here, delete the task. So maybe the one-to-many wasn't the right field. We'll do it again. Create a field. I think this was the one I did that worked. Many to one. Let's try it here. See if this one works. Create in advance. Oh. No, type integer. See, the last one said like alias, so I think that was right. Oh, to one task. Yeah, that's wrong. I feel like one to many is what we wanted, but it just didn't work right. Let's try this one. Many to A, what is that? Tasks, type is alias. Related collection is tasks. And enable those two. See, it says it's an alias. See, it makes this junction. Which is right, we need that. So it makes this table. This lets you pick other types. A join table, yeah, they call it junction collection. So you could pick like fortunes or whatever. That's what the M2A is. That's why I don't think it's the right one. Let me go back real quick before I mess something else up. Why didn't one to many work? Tasks. The collection is tasks. The foreign key doesn't let me select ID. I can choose title. Related collection. See, this is saying the ID maps to the title. Is that wrong? Should I be making a field on the tasks? Maybe. Did you hear that? Is that in the song? Yeah, let's try making it on there then. First, tasks. No. Tasks. Create a field. One to many. Realistically, each task will only belong to one list. Many to one. Task list, yeah, belongs to it. There we go. Right? Add O2M to list. Ah. There we go. Delete the task items. We create within your data menu list.tasks. I think that's right. I don't want to allow a null value. Value doesn't have to be unique. I don't know what the display does. That's nifty. Yeah, nifty, huh? Display the related values. Oh, it worked. Very cool. Okay, now let's go here. Do I have any lists yet? Oh, I didn't add a title to the list? What's the deal? Title. Title. Do not allow a null value. The value has to be unique. Require it to be set. In the interface is serif. Trim the start and the end. Display as a formatted value with an icon of title. Okay. This should be before the tasks. List. Create a new item. Title. Shopping. No items. So see, I click add existing and I can choose from a list of items, tasks that are already created. Or I could create a new. Here comes the ambulance. Carrots. The level, I'm gonna leave them at 3 for this list. Oh, I put that on the wrong one. That should be on the level. Okay. Completed or uncompleted. Boom. It has it there. It doesn't show it because it's a new item. So it's a little weird in the interface, but let's see, carrots and cereal. I love my cereal. Okay, we'll save that. Didn't show them right. Okay. See, the thing I can't find is, you see how it shows 1, 2? Instead of like the title? I want to show the title value. But I couldn't find a way how to do that. List, tasks. It has delete the task. Sort field should sort. That's the related field, but it needs a display field. Oh, display template? Is this where I select the field that I want to display? Maybe? Ah, no, I don't know. We'll try that, title. That could be it though. And I want to show the related values, but I want to show the titles. And what was the other one that was messed up? It was on the tasks. The level should have a hint of a weight 1 to 5. And then the completed. Should not have it. Okay. Yeah. So let's look at our list. 2 items. Yes, yeah, click on it and I can see the items in here. Oh, that's the display template. It's the display template. That's what it does. Hello, ODAT. How's it going? Headless CMSs make no sense to me because the only reason I use the CMS is because someone more talented than me has designed the site for me. Yeah, so think of them as just like the admin interface, and then you have to build the template out yourself, right? So this, as an admin interface, I really like this. I wouldn't mind using this, but I also have the option to build an admin interface myself, which I will for some things. Yes, this is also why I take my car to the mechanic instead of just buying parts. Yeah, I'm no good with cars, I must say. But look at that, I can click on it, I can see him, and then this can take me to the carrots directly, but I don't really care to go to the carrots. But let's look in here, and now it shows tasks, carrots. See, if I add existing, I can click on one of the ones that were already there, but they're already in there, so I don't need to do that. It even says the list that it belongs to, which I can update that with the display template. Or I can create a new one. Let's create a new list. Well, let me fix that display template real quick. On the tasks, the list should show display template. So this is like a template string of all the data, and I can format it any way I want to. I want to show the title, but I could put like title and then tasks. I don't know what that would do. Okay. If I wanted to look at all the tasks across all the lists, there we can see which list it belongs to. And I can create unique ones, so if I said carrots again here somewhere else, or if I wanted to create a task through this way, I could do it. But this is what I'm gonna build an app for, to do this all my own client-side way, you know? Like Wonderlist is what I'm gonna build. Let's create a new task. Let's say couch, because I'm gonna make a new list. Does Directus generate code? So far, I haven't seen it need to. It did for Strappy, but I don't know how they're configuring it. I think they're storing it all in the Postgres database, the configuration and stuff, which is interesting. I won't leave it completed. Which list do I want it to be in? Not in shopping. That's why I need to go create the list first. Okay. Let's create a new list, and we'll call this Craigslist. Things to sell on Craigslist. I won't add any tasks yet. 0 items. But you know what's really bothering me? That the title is showing second. We can just change that there. And I think that's it. Yep, there we go. And also bothers me that it shows up second there. So I'll just move it. There we go. And let's give this a nice little icon. List, save it. Okay. There's our list. There's our tasks. So if we wanted to add one in here, let's say couch. Say I wanted to sell my couch on Craigslist, and that's a pretty big thing. So I'm gonna give it a weight of 5. But let's say I already did it. I can add it to the list here, and then boom. Go back, oops, keep editing. I need to save it. There you go. You can see how it looks different in this list. And there's the star rating. I thought I did the simple ones. Maybe I didn't. These are not the simple ones. I left that because it shows more weight. And there's the lists. There's the item. There's it is. There's it is. You can see the revisions are being tracked here as well. So if I add a new task, I wonder if it tracks that, or if it just was tracking it on the list. Couch, what else do I want to sell? My TV. That's an okay sale. It's not completed yet. Save that. Did it? Yeah, it showed it. Updated 2 fields. User updated and the date updated. That's not, it should be the, oh cool, it shows what it will look like after the update. Relational data is not included here. Okay. Well, direct to generate code. No, so let's look. This is the Strappy code. This is the Directus code. There's nothing else new in here besides uploads. But I think we can create files here to tie into these, to hooks and those kinds of things. But most of it can be done directly in the admin, which is pretty nice. Okay, let's move on to final thoughts. Task end, task start. Jerry's final thoughts. You guys know Jerry, right? So I first ran, I'm not gonna do final thoughts to this song, I'm sorry. How's this one? I agree, Coding Garden. Directus seems more mature than Strappy, which is interesting to me because I'd never heard of it. Yeah, me neither. I'd never heard of it. I actually heard of it from Cypher, who mentioned it when he was watching last time. He's not here now. But he mentioned it to me because I was looking at Strappy. I was gonna go with Strappy, and then he mentioned that, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot better. So this just feels not fully baked yet, but I feel like Strappy gets so much attention. Maybe they're just marketing better or something, I don't know. But I also feel like their pricing structure is even worse than Directus, because Directus is free. The only limitations you have are you have to host it yourself for the time being. Once you get into the Community Cloud Edition, you're gonna have like, you know, only 10 collections, 10,000 items or 3 users. But I think if you self-host, none of these limitations exist, which is nice. Which is nice. Yeah, so Coding Garden says, one of the projects at work used Strappy and there was a lot of custom code and middlewares in the generated controllers. That was why I originally thought Strappy would be good because it did have all those tie-ins, but I do think I can get to them here by creating my own files. Strappy generates a lot of that content for you. See, like it made all these upper content types that we can edit in here and create hooks and stuff like that. I'd like to explore that in the next episode. We'll go deeper with it. We'll go like generating a page with multiple content. We'll pull the data down in a UI to try to see what the data looks like from the API. And I'd also like to do auth with it too. I've got auth working with Strappy in a pretty easy way. I haven't tried it with Directus yet. So this could be a breaking point for Directus, which would be a bummer because everything about it so far has been great, and I really want to use it for this project. So those are the two main comparisons of them. Overall, I agree that Directus is my pick because of what I said the whole time, just like the whole configurability, the options, the admin interface. It's a lot smoother, easier to understand, easier to set up. I think the UX on here is great. Hopefully you can tie into actual code, which, let's see, docs and endpoints parameters for auth. Let's see what the docs looks like. I was looking through it. Oh, Directus is built with Vue. That explains it. So Cypher showed me, he said he wanted to use Directus and Gridsome. And Gridsome is a Vue. Gridsome is a static site generator built on Vue. So I was debating using that. But yeah, maybe that's how he found this, because he was looking for ones built on Vue. But I don't think you should even need to get in there. I mean, you could probably make your own custom field types, but I don't think you would need to get in there, honestly. They've got so many features in there. They both support GraphQL, I believe. So yeah, you're the same there. I'll probably use REST. I would like to try to tie into GraphQL as well, but I'm curious to see how the authentication works. I'm gonna have to play with this offline, but I think their docs looks pretty good. They got an SDK, JS SDK, which looked really easy to use. Like, look at this. You just connect to it, and then you can do it like an ORM. Items, which I'm excited about. I haven't got to use that. Oh, there's the auth. This looks like it's going to be nice and easy to use. With Strappy, I had to write my own custom code, and it was not great. Not great. Extensions. So let's see. What do they say, Coding Garden? It's to use the extensions SDK. Oh, they did also have, sorry, let me pull up some notes here. I wrote some notes down about Directus. I would like to also look into Datto. But that was a paid one too. So they have, let me open this up for you cool cats. This is the notes that I took when I was looking into it. Local installer cloud option, open source code with paid platform. So the open source is your local install. It supports so many data sources: Postgres, MySQL, SQLite, Microsoft SQL Server, SQL Server, Oracle DB, MariaDB, AWS Aurora. No data migration required. So what they said was, if you already have a database set up, you can connect to those data sources and not need to migrate your data, which seems impossible, right? But they say you can do it. It's REST and GraphQL, unlimited auth roles and rules with workflows. So workflows allow you to do like publishing workflows, you know, draft, this, whatever. Yes, Coding Garden. Also, that was the big thing, was Strappy has limits on how many users you can have, even when you do the open source version. This one doesn't seem like it has any limits when it's self-hosted. I think this is more of a true open source product. They're, you know, gonna go the route of probably doing the cloud hosting just like everyone else, but it sounds like they're not locking you into it. They allow you to export your data everywhere and stuff too, so this seems like a better option. UI data modeler for app, no code needed. Add API endpoints, like you can add custom endpoints, response filters, webhooks, event logic. This is all, I think, to tie in to the server side. These are the extensions here. Soft deletes, which I think are cool. That's like the archived. Revision history and activity logs, which are built in. That blew my mind. You can use SSO, OAuth2, OpenID. It's got two-factor auth built in. Wow. It's white labelable, which I don't think Strappy is. You can change out this top little logo up here to your own thing, and then it's white labeled. 50 plus admin UI components, which those are all the admin fields we saw. You know, they've got a great selection already out of there. There was maybe a rating one that I would like to see, right? Yeah, I can't find anything that Strappy does better. Yeah, I don't know. But this has layouts and modules included. I haven't looked into those yet, but I think the layouts is cool. It allows you, I think, to place content in certain, to say like, this is the header content and this is the footer content and whatever, and like that. Storage adapters for the local, this is for image storage, media. Storage adapters, local file system, AWS S3, Google Cloud Storage. Transactional emails are built in, and it says you can run full campaigns even from your interface somehow. Internationalization is built in, and I think it's going to be pretty solid in here. It looked like they listed out all the languages. Looked pretty easy to use in here. It was a little confusing and Strappy. Revision and revert history, again, blowing my mind. Yeah, Coding Garden, check it out. I've been looking at it for a few days and I think it looks great. I love it. I need to figure out a flow for like getting it up, you know, hosted, connected to a production database, and then when I need to launch and change data in things there, like how reliable is it at that point? That's more of like a personal plan. I don't, you know, they don't plan for that ahead of time, but it would be nice to, if I build a new app and build a new whatever way to connect to it, then how does that all work? I need to test users out in here too. Like how would I create users and authenticate users? Do they authenticate to this admin interface, or can I make a users table like Strappy? Because you probably missed it earlier, but Strappy has a users table and you can create users in there, but they can't use the admin interface. Anyone using the admin interface is limited up to like 3 or 5 users or something like that. Nestable virtual folders, that was a big feature to me. Like I said, to add it in here, you know, we added that folder to categorize our content, which I think is good once you start getting tons of content in here. And these two are tied together, right? But it would be stupid to have them at the top level because it'd be a little confusing. You won't have one without the other. Exports for backups, they had export on every single page. You can just export the data to CSV, JSON, XML, that's cool. Full text search and field filters. We did a little filtering inside the UI. Dynamic thumbnailing, it created a few different versions for us. I haven't looked into that too deeply, if you can, how you configure it or what. And it says it runs on Node or PHP. What's that all about? I don't know. It says it works with Dockers and Kubernetes. That's not really my thing. Digital asset management built in, which it is. I don't know how great it is. It seems pretty good in my opinion. Like this is the bare bones of what I want. Oh, look at that. I can create folders in here. I could do like avatars, save them. Can I move this file to avatars? Look, no. Wow, I can change some stuff. Storage, local, move to avatars. Boom, done. Edit? Look at that. I always think that's bells and whistles. I don't think you really need that in an API, but whatever. App themes and light and dark mode. Out of the box. Light and dark mode. Out of the box. Out of the box. To me, that's like such an advantage point just to begin with. But again, once they launch their cloud, it's going to be expensive. Strappy doesn't have dark mode. I couldn't figure out how to turn it on, and that's why I'm stuck looking around like this. The cloud will be cool if you're not a technical person and don't know how to manage your own server. Dark mode is totally in the box. It's in the box. Nightly backups with 30-day retention if you do the paid subscription, asset storage. So if you're not a technical person and you want to get it up and running, you know, in the cloud, simply, this could be a good option for you, I would say. I know, every time I open this page, it's like, burns. So basically my pitch for Directus. Next time, we'll look into some additional future features. Those will be like setting up more of a full blog structure, you know, getting categories and tags in there, what's the proper way to tag things. And I would also like to pull down the data to the client, see how easy it is to work with it, which Directus provides their own SDK for, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, we didn't look at the extensions fully. The easiest way to start is the extensions SDK. It'll probably generate some stuff for you. Maybe we can look into that. I'm gonna do a lot of research of this stuff offline. Hooks, endpoints, email templates, migrations. So I could create my own module and layouts, I guess. Let's see how the hooks work. There's events. Whenever you create a filter. I'm curious mostly about like validation. Yeah, here we go. These kind of events. Gotta learn how to tie into those, you know, if I want to do like custom validation things or send an email after something. I'm just kidding. That's their example right here. And that's pretty cool. Create an item and then you send them an email. Interfaces, custom interfaces. So this is where the code stuff kicks in, right? Looks like it's probably, I mean, their documentation looks pretty simple and easy to me. That's why we've got to try it out and see how it actually works. Because I tried Keystone 6 and it was not, I mean, it looked pretty, but it was not easy to work with, I must say. I'm gonna have to write some Vue code. That's exciting. I can make themes, light or dark themes, or a whole custom theme. Cool. Vue! Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, I was clicking through things, but we're on the ending screen. All right, we're ending now. Is anyone online? Is anyone streaming? You about to go live, Coding Garden? Just kidding. Don't play something. Don't play something. Griffin's chilling. Mel still going? Let's see what Juicebox got going on.
At Costco, they have the really big ones. Like the really big ones. The ones that are like 30 inches. And
Ooh, what do you think she's talking about?
I don't mean to be called a size queen or anything, but 30-inch plushes are...
30-inch plushes. That's funny. Yeah, Coding Garden. Me too, man. I'm glad you can enjoy it. Thanks, Cypher. I'll give it a shout out. Too, he's not here. Cypher. I don't think he streams either, but they do a thing. Jam session. He's the one who turned me on to it. Oh, he did a jam session once. So thank you, Cypher, for the great suggestion. I'm also going to look into Gridsome, which he recommended. Gridsome is Vue-based, basically Next.js, you know. I know they have Nuxt, but check out Gridsome too. Their documentation looks solid, and they have, they're kind of trying to be like a Gatsby-inspired thing, so they have plugins and all that cool stuff. We'll do a comparison with that once we get to the front end side of this. But for now, peace out. Let's stay for the raid. Raid a channel. What is your name? Juicebox. Start the raid. Okay. We got 6 viewers. And for those of you who weren't here in the beginning, the first 15 minutes, I didn't record the audio. I'm gonna have to go back and record it somehow before I put it up on like YouTube because it's a bummer. I talked about all my data types. I wish I could fix it, but you know what? There's no turning back now. All right. How do I start the raid? Do I just end the stream? Yeah, let's try it.